What's up, Tech Fam? So, remember when we all thought AMD was finally going to give Nvidia a run for their money in the AI chip wars? Yeah, about that. Nvidia just dropped Rubin, and let me tell you, the game just changed, again. But here's what's wild. This isn't just about faster chips. Nvidia pulled off something that might lock AMD out of the AI revolution for years, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why even AMD's best engineers are probably having sleepless nights right now. Stick around, because we're breaking down the tech, the strategy, and the absolutely brutal business move that Nvidia just executed. And if you love deep dives into the tech industry's biggest battles, smash that subscribe button because we're just getting started. Alright, let's rewind for a second. 6 months ago, AMD was looking good. Their MI300X chips were getting serious traction. Major cloud providers were testing them, the pricing was competitive. Analysts were saying this could be AMD's moment to break Nvidia's stranglehold on the AI accelerator market. And honestly, they had every reason to be confident. AMD's been the underdog that could before. Remember how they demolished Intel in the CPU wars? Same playbook. Better price to performance, hungry engineers, and customers tired of Nvidia's premium pricing. But here's what AMD didn't see coming. Nvidia wasn't just building a faster chip with Rubin, they were building an entire ecosystem designed to make switching to AMD nearly impossible. So, what exactly is Rubin? On the surface, it's Nvidia's next-gen AI platform, set to launch in 2026, but let's break down what makes it absolutely devastating for AMD. First, raw performance. We're talking about chips that deliver up to 4 times the training performance of current-generation GPUs for large language models. AMD's MI300X was competitive with the H100, but Rubin is playing in a completely different league. Second, and this is where it gets interesting, Rubin isn't just about the GPU anymore. Nvidia introduced HGX B200 systems with 8 GPUs connected via their 5th-gen NVIDIA link. That's 1.8 terabytes per second of GPU to GPU bandwidth. AMD's Infinity Fabric maxes out around 896 gigabytes per second. It's not even close. And here's why that matters. When you're training massive AI models, communication between GPUs is often the bottleneck. Nvidia just obliterated that bottleneck while AMD is still trying to catch up. Third, CUDA. Oh man, CUDA. See, Nvidia has spent 17 years building CUDA. That's their software platform that every AI researcher learns in grad school. Every major AI framework is optimized for CUDA first. PyTorch, CUDA, TensorFlow, CUDA, JAX, you guessed it, CUDA. AMD's ROCm is fine, it's functional, but asking companies to rewrite millions of lines of code, retrain their engineers, and debug everything on a new platform, that's not a technical challenge, that's a business suicide mission. If you're getting value from this breakdown, hit that subscribe button. We do deep dives like this every week, and trust me, the AI chip wars are just heating up. But here's where Nvidia's strategy gets absolutely diabolical. Rubin isn't launching alone, it's coming with NVLink switch chips for building massive AI supercomputers, Grace Blackwell superchips that integrate CPU and GPU, a new networking architecture specifically designed for AI workloads, and enhanced tensor cores with custom support for new AI model architectures. You see what Nvidia did there? They're not selling chips, they're selling the entire infrastructure stack. And they've made it so that if you want the absolute bleeding-edge performance, which honestly, every AI company desperately needs to stay competitive, you don't just buy Nvidia GPUs, you buy Nvidia switches, Nvidia networking, Nvidia software, Nvidia support. Meanwhile, AMD is over here saying, hey, our GPU is pretty good and costs 20% less. That worked against Intel in CPUs because software compatibility was never the issue. But in AI, software compatibility is everything. And here's the kicker. Nvidia's already working with every major cloud provider, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, to deploy Rubin at scale. By the time AMD gets competitive silicon to market, Nvidia will have thousands of engineers who've been optimizing their code for Rubin for months. The moat isn't just wide anymore, it's a freaking ocean. Now, look, I don't want to completely count AMD out. They've surprised us before. They're still going to capture some of the market, especially from cost-conscious customers or those with specific workloads where AMD's architecture makes sense. And competition is good. The last thing we need is Nvidia with 100% market share charging whatever they want. But let's be real. AMD needed this comeback. They needed to prove they could go toe-to-toe with Nvidia in the AI era, the same way the Cindy side did the bike, then with Biden and then resembled den Daltel and spews. And Rubin just moved the goalposts so far that AMD isn't even playing the same sport anymore. But the real question isn't whether AMD can compete with Rubin. And it's whether they can survive long enough to build the ecosystem they'd need to compete with whatever comes after Rubin. So that's the story of how Nvidia's Rubin platform might have just ended AMD's AI comeback before it really began. It's not just about specs, it's about ecosystem lock-in, software moats, and playing chess while your competitor plays checkers. But I want to hear from you. Yasmi Sol. Do you think AMD still has a shot at breaking into the AI accelerator market, or is Nvidia's lead just too insurmountable at this point? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I actually read them, and honestly, some of you have amazing insights. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe for more tech analysis, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.